If you're new, welcome. So glad that you found the team. If this is your first time with us, my name is Coach Coral Owen, and I'm the head coach for Team Babe Athletics. For the month of February, we have been, for our weekly Tuesday training series, diving into training foundations and different aspects of why we train the way we do, different supplemental aspects to training, and just a lot of really cool 101, 102 type topics that are applicable both for newbies and for seasoned veterans alike. So today I'd like to dive into the topic of cross training, and this is something that is sometimes debated hotly in various circles, but something that we stress a lot with the athletes that we work with is cross training. And I know a lot of people who are newer to the sport will sometimes say, well, holy hell, isn't swim, bike, run enough, or run, bike, run? Doing all of these things, why would I need to add an additional aspect to what I'm already putting in on top of the time each week? And what I want to stress is that it's not so much that you're adding to the volume, it's just arranging your weekly flow and weekly training composition in such a way that is logical, it's smart, and it's sensible, and it helps you train more efficiently rather than just training more and more and more to obtain the same goal, more or less. So when we talk about cross training, I want to talk about this in two different contexts here. So we are all over the world right now. So some people may be coming out of kind of an off season, moving into more multi-sport triathlon, duathlon training. Some of us might be in full swing. So first off, if you are more still in your off season mode, you're not necessarily training for anything in particular, you're kind of in between triathlon or duathlon seasons, this is the perfect opportunity, and we talked about this a lot as we were wrapping up this past season here in the States, is that this is not necessarily the time to sit on the couch and eat bonbons, but definitely something that you can take, or a space in your year where you can take time that you would typically allocate towards swim, bike, run, and do other things that you really enjoy that allow you to keep active and maintain that really awesome fitness base that you already have cultivated and spent many, many months and hours developing. So whether it's cross-country skiing, paddling, hiking, backpacking, jiu-jitsu, roller derby, there's so many cool things that you can explore or dive back into that really regenerate your mental energy and your physical energy, but also strengthen other areas of the body, different muscle systems, and really just allow you to supplement your fitness. Hey guys, thanks for hopping in. Supplement your fitness in different ways that help prevent overuse injuries, and then also just, like I said, re-energize your training when you come up to your next season, specifically for swim, bike, run. So that's more the off season, which I like to call more like a in-between season context. So once we're more back into the flow of swim, bike, run or run, bike, run training, this can take the form of when we're having conversations about cross training, it's typically more in the light of strength training, mobility training, yoga are the most commonly referred to aspects in this context. So strength training is actually one of the things that we specifically build in to all of our training plans, all of the athletes that we work with, and Coach Ray and I both do very focused sessions of strength and mobility each week. This plays a really key role in helping prevent injury, especially amongst female athletes. And there's actually a very critical way to program your strength training in with the different phases that you work through. And if you're not too familiar with the phases of training, go back, I think it was 2 weeks ago, we talked about periodization of training. So Let's see. Stacy says, what happens? Okay. Stacy, great question. And thank you guys. If you have any questions around wherever doing these talks, please, that's why we do them live. Please pop the questions in here. And if you're watching this later, after we've wrapped up, still pop questions in. We always go back and are happy to answer them after the fact. So Stacy has a great question. What happens if the cross training makes you so sore that you can't do your normal training? So that is a fantastic question. If you are, I'm assuming if this is some sort of like strength training that you're doing typically. Yeah, okay. So I would say that you would want to, if you're coming off of your strength training or cross training sessions extremely sore and you're not able to properly focus on your key swim, bike, and run workouts that you need to be focusing on as well, I would recommend looking at whether or not you need to adjust the weekly flow of how you're fitting in those cross training sessions amongst your swim, bike, or run. And then also specifically at the workout itself, are you doing the right types of workouts that are providing the correct adaptations for your body? Okay. All right. So if it's kind of like a, maybe not cookie cutter, but kind of a program that somebody said, here, this would be a helpful resource, you may want to assess where you're at, or perhaps talk to the person that developed this program and basically say, hey, I need a little extra one-on-one help, because there really is not a one-size-fits-all. Nobody knows better than you your current fitness level, where you're at in being able to handle a certain workload of strength, and then also where your body is in the ability to handle strength training on top of swim, bike, run, then piecing. And also, there's not like a secret sauce here. It's really just sometimes a trial and error of figuring out whether you need to go lighter on your weight, heavier on your weight, figure out a different modality that works better or not. And then, over the course of a bit of time, you figure out what works best for you for the phase that you're in. There are some really great resources out there, and we'll actually be talking more specifically about particular cross-training approaches in the team group later this week. So if you're not yet part of the team, this is something that we do is each week as we introduce the topic, then we actually do a lot more practical application as the week goes on into these different training topics. So great question. Hopefully that is helpful. And of course, if you guys have any questions beyond what we're able to answer in a live discussion, don't hesitate to reach out and let us know if you have any more specific questions. So hopefully that is helpful. Oh, I also want to say, outside of strength training, also spending just a few moments a day on mobility work, and not just flexibility, like can you touch your hands to the floor. I'm talking about, can you move through a full functional range of motion to allow your body to achieve its most efficient movement patterns when you're swimming, cycling, running, and just living your daily life. So these are definitely some key things to think about incorporating amongst your multi-sport training that can pay huge dividends if done consistently, with intention, and with purpose. As always, hope you guys have an awesome week. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me or to Coach Ray. We're always here to help y'all. Thanks for tuning in, and stay badass. We'll catch you later.